Good afternoon, my name's Janice. I'm a Thermomix consultant. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I am doing a little test on a recipe I found on the recipe community. It is a sweet chili sauce. I do already make my own sweet chili sauce, but I usually make it in a pot on the stove because I do it like half a kilo of chilies at a time. But this is just makes a small batch, and it's only 2 bottles. And I just wanted to give it a try and see what it was like. Right, yeah, so I found the recipe and I've printed it off. And it says we need 6 to 8 chilies. And so I think I've actually got 10, but they're only small, they're smaller chilies. And it says to remove seeds from 3/4 of the chilies. So I've cut the tops off them and split some of them and removed the seeds and the membrane, because the seeds and the membrane is where all the heat is. So I'm going to add them in. So some of them are still whole. I'll just have a look, make sure there is nothing in my bowl. Then it says to place the seeded and unseeded chilies and all the remaining ingredients. So I've got 1 garlic clove. It doesn't say to, oh yes it does, it says 1 centimetre cube of fresh peeled ginger. I didn't actually see that, I was just going to put it in there anyway. Rightio, then they want us to have white vinegar. So this is a manual cooking, these are the scales here, and it says 175 grams of white vinegar. You can use whatever vinegar you like. I mean, some people make sweet chili sauce with apple cider vinegar or white wine vinegar. I generally use just the white vinegar. So, and then 175 grams of, this is just water. Oops, what happened there? Rightio. And then 350 grams of white sugar. It just says sugar, so once again you can use whatever sugar you like. So the chili sauce that I make, it's a basic recipe. It's just chilies, sugar, vinegar, salt, and then your aromatics like your garlic or your ginger. So this one, it's quite similar to my recipe. So would we say 350? So it's equal quantities of sugar and liquid. Rightio. And a tablespoon of salt. That is actually quite a lot of salt. I'm only going to put 2 of them in, that's more than enough. Okay, then we put the lid on. So that's all the ingredients, and then we're going to, so it's very simple. So now we're going to put the lid on and we're going to chop for 6 seconds at speed 7. So back to the front page, we just select our time and our speed. Okay, now we'll have a look at that and see how well those chilies are chopped. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to give it a bit more chopping time because some of those chunks are quite big. Another 6 seconds. Rightio. So now it's as simple as you put the lid on, and we're going to cook it. We're going to take the measuring cup off. We're going to cook it for 20 or 25 minutes. At 100 degrees. Speed 2.5. Right, yeah. So because we're taking the temperature over 95, we have to put the simmering basket on instead of the measuring cup. Now, if you've got any of the other Thermomixes, then the normal measuring cups for them is okay. But if you've got a Thermomix was a TM5 and you are using the TM6 lid, then you have to use the simmering basket instead. Rightio, so we'll be back in 25 minutes to see how that is. So this actually has a shelf life of around 18 months to 2 years in your pantry, in a cool spot. You don't have to keep it in the fridge. Once you open the lid, once you take the lid off, then you have to put it in the fridge. Rightio, I'll be back in 25 minutes. This has been cooking for 25 minutes and it's got quite a liquid consistency. I am going to cook it for another 10 minutes just to see. When it's hot, your sweet chilli sauce should be quite liquid because it does thicken up when it cools, and especially if you put it in the fridge, it gets really thick. But I do think that that is quite liquid, and I'm going to cook it for a little bit longer. And I'll just scrape down the side. And I'll pop it on for a bit longer. I can't remember what I said. Did I say another 15 minutes? We'll go another 10. And then I'll have a look. Alright, 100 degrees, speed 2.5. Rightio, I'll be back in 10. Rightio, so that's had another 10 minutes, and let's have a look. Don't know if you can see that, that's slightly thicker. It's not quite so watery. So rightio, so what I'll do is I'm going to leave that to cool for 10 minutes. I've got my bottles in the oven sterilising. So once that's sat for 10 minutes, it'll be ready to go in the bottles, and I'll be back. Rightio. So we've got the bottles, they've been in the oven and just heated up to 100 degrees and left to, so just to sterilise them. I've let this cool just for 10 minutes, just to let everything settle. And now we're going to pour it into the bottles. Let's see if I can get the bottle. Oh yeah, so that smells really nice. I will come back when it's cooled. Oh, I might have to come back tomorrow when it's cool and just show you how thick that is. It's a nice, it'll be a nice pouring consistency, good for dipping. Rightio. I mean, what I love about my Thermomix is the ability to, or how easy it is to make your own sauces and ingredients. So I know exactly what is in that chili sauce. There's chilies, water, sugar, vinegar, garlic, ginger and salt. There's no preservatives, there's no additives. Now I'm going to pop the lids on this while it's still hot, and that will seal. This one here, oh, that's gone under my Thermomix, under the slide board. So I'll just, so that will seal. That'll actually, you know, form a seal. The other one, it doesn't matter because it's just going in my fridge as chili sauce to use. So that bottle is really hot. Okay. So I will, I'll actually come back. I'll video when that's cool tomorrow, and I'll show you how nice it is. Rightio. So yesterday we made the chili sauce, and I put it in the 2 bottles. This one's been sitting on the bench overnight, and this one's been in the fridge. So when chili sauce sits, it does separate out. I've already shaken this a couple of times, and that's just how it works. I always shake my chili sauce. This should keep this is sealed, and that should keep in the pantry unopened for, you know, like a couple of years. So I love making my own homemade chili sauce and Worcestershire sauce and jam and that, because I know exactly what's going into it. Now this one here, I'll just show you. I put the lid on while it was hot and then just left it sit, and I'll just show you. I don't know if you heard that little pop. That was it releasing the seal. So, and that one will have the same, which is why we can leave that in the pantry, and it will it won't go mouldy or anything. The only time it might go mouldy is if you are putting it in a wet or dirty bottle that hasn't been sterilised. So I always make sure my bottles, I rinse the bottle, put them in the oven at 100 degrees, dry, make sure they're properly dry, and the same with the lid. I do buy all new lids for my bottles. I don't reuse old lids, unless it's something that I'm just like popping into a jar and putting in the fridge for a couple of days. Then I might reuse a lid, but definitely not if it's stained or starting to go a bit, you know, weird. Anyway, so I don't know if you can see this. This is, that's the one that hasn't been in the fridge, and that's the one that has. So that's a really nice chili sauce. I don't know what you call it. Gloopy texture. If you want it to be thicker than that, then you just cook it longer, and you will get less. It'll just reduce down. I'd do it 10 minutes at a time until you get the desired consistency. Remembering, of course, that when you put it in the fridge, it is going to thicken up. So, rightio. Thanks for watching. I hope that was helpful. I hope I'll see you again next time. In the meantime, if you want to give this video the thumbs up, pop over to my channel and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks very much.